This is the plaintiff, Wendy. She says she brought her professional camera to the defendant's shop for repair and the guy lost it. That's right, the camera she uses in her profession to make a living is now gone, disappeared into thin air. She's lost jobs because she has no camera. The defendant refuses to replace her camera with a new one, and she's suing the crummy camera repair guy for the $2,236.10. She's out. This is the defendant, Michael. He says he shipped the plaintiff's camera to Canon for a new circuit board, and a few weeks later they informed him the camera was unrepairable. He did everything to make the plaintiff happy, even loaning her a new camera so she wouldn't lose out on work. He's sorry, but if the manufacturer says the camera can't be fixed, it can't be fixed. He's accused of not getting the picture. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $590.53, the value of the loaner camera the plaintiff still has in her possession.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated, come to order. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Wendy, you've asked us not to mention your last name, and we'll respect that. You are suing the camera repair shop, represented here by Michael. You've also asked us not to use your last name, for $2,236.10 in lost wages and the cost of a new camera because they lost your camera during a repair. You have a counterclaim against her for $590.53 for the cost of a camera that you loaned her that she has not returned and for the repairs that you didn't make. So that's interesting. I can't wait to hear this whole story. Go ahead. What happened?
Your Honor, on April 15th, I handed my black Canon XS over to, his name's Albert. I don't know if I could say his last name, but it's a local camera shop. And he said it should be fixed and back in my possession within a few weeks. He determined it was a circuit board that went. And a few weeks passed.
There are circuit boards and cameras?
Yes. It's like a motherboard in the camera. The camera was in perfect, very new condition besides the motherboard. No,
it wasn't in perfect condition because you took it to a camera repair shop. So what was wrong with it?
The motherboard.
Besides the fact that it didn't work, what was wrong with it? I mean, it didn't work. That's why you took it there.
It did not work.
Okay.
The outside of the camera was in beautiful
condition. It was beautiful. Okay.
Yes. So initially he said, I called him to see what was going on. He said it should be back in a few weeks.
How old was your camera?
Probably about 4 years old, I'm guessing.
Okay.
He said that it was missing. So I said...
Wait, when did he say it was missing?
A few weeks in, I called to check on the status of my camera, and he said it was missing. So I said, where's my camera? And he said, I don't know, I got the tracking number, I'll call and I'll let you know. Anyway, he said it was lost in transit.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a photographer.
So what were you using in the meantime?
I didn't have anything at this point because there's only been a few weeks. And I also do graphic art. I do illustration.
You don't work every day?
So I use my camera some of the time. I use Adobe Illustrator. I'm a graphic artist, illustrator, clip artist.
Okay.
That's what I do as well. So I do a number of things. Mm-hmm. So anyway, about 6 weeks go by, and in May 28th, he notes that he's waiting for parts. It's been 6 weeks. So I go into the store because I'm annoyed because I need the camera for work. So he lends me a black Rebel XS at this point to hold me over until I get my camera back. On June 17th, I go in there. He leaves a message on my answering machine saying, good news, I got your camera back. He goes, it's already repaired, ready to go. So I said, okay. So I come into his store and he pulled out this silver XS.
Which is not your camera.
Which is not my camera.
Okay.
And I said, that is not my camera. And he said to me, this is better than your camera. He says, this Canon very rarely does this. This is like new. I said, this is not new. He goes, no, it's refurbished. I said, I don't want this, Albert. So he takes back the black XS and he says he offers me this. I said, this is not my camera. I want the camera back that I gave to you for repair. So he said to me...
Why did he say, though, that Canon, according to... Are you guys authorized Canon representatives?
We
Repair shop?
authorized to do, we don't do the repairs on site.
Right.
We're not authorized to do repairs on site. We send them to Canon to be repaired by Canon
But can
themselves.
anybody send them to, like, in other words, anybody's in that
We have a
position?
dealer account.
So anyway, he said, and I told him that I wanted the camera back that I gave him. And he said, well, do you want to wait 8 months for a part from Japan? Because that's how long it's going to take. So I said, I'll see you back in March then, Albert. And I left with this camera, and I had no choice but, he showed it. It looked like it was working fine. So I was and this is where my witness was here. I was doing a website for her, and I was photographing her at the beach, and the camera was getting stuck, and the shutter wasn't releasing.
The loaner camera?
This loaner camera, the one he says
Okay.
is like new. So
How long had you been using it without a problem?
this was the first time I took it out to use.
How long after they had loaned it to you was that?
June 17th.
Right? And you were using it?
I use it and I don't use it. Like
don't
I
know
said,
what
I
that
do.
means. How long had you been using it before you had the problem?
That was the first time I pulled it out.
What date was the photo shoot?
It was September
So
8th.
June, July, August, September. That's
Yes.
3 months.
I didn't use
Had
it.
you used a camera or had you not used a camera in those 3 months?
I don't think I used it for work at that point.
Okay.
I did other jobs. I have other jobs that I did.
That's fine. So you had not worked as a photographer in those 3 months.
No, I didn't use it for those 3 months. No.
You had not worked as a photographer for those
No.
3 months. Is that
No.
correct?
I only used it.
Is that correct? What I just asked. You can't have it
I
both
don't-
ways. You got to pick. I know you
don't-
see where I'm
yes,
going.
I
so
know.
you
I
got to
don't
pick.
remember.
You either can sue for $2,000 for lost photography work,
I'm trying to
or you
think-
don't use a camera in 3 months. It's one or the other. So which is it?
I use it and I don't use it. I can't remember.
It's
I don't have
both.
the dates.
I use it and I don't use it. It's both.
I don't have the dates of all the times.
All right. So where's the camera?
The camera was with Canon. They replaced it with another model.
Right, but the customer has apparently fallen in love with her camera.
Understood.
She has a very emotional attachment to the camera. She wants to have the camera's babies. She goes to God bless you. It's kind of funny. You actually tape them without them knowing, right?
Yes,
You're in
I
what
did.
state? You're a one-party consent state, so that's okay.
It was a camera that my aunt gave to me.
Her aunt, did your aunt pass away or something?
Yes, she did.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear it. So it has sentimental value to her. And she actually, I hear on the tape, Albert saying things like, good news, just got off the phone with Canon, which is amazing because we've been at this for I don't know how long, and the camera's lost, I don't know, we don't know, they can't find, okay, we found it, okay, we're gonna fix it, okay, here's a different okay, here's your camera, no, this camera's better. There's all kinds of, I think you guys just lost a camera. I mean, and nobody wants to come in because there's no
I have
reason
the
for you.
UPS
Where's the
records.
camera right now, right this
We never
second?
received that camera back from Canon.
Why don't you make Canon give you back the camera when you have a customer who's this adamant about it?
I think he was still waiting for repair from the part.
Okay, you gotta be kidding me. She is suing you. So why don't you have it?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So the question, does this woman have to take some substitute camera that this guy is offering her, or can she say, I want my camera or the money for my camera?
I think she can say, no, I want my camera or the money. There's no reason that she has to take a substitute.
Okay, but he's saying, look, I will give you something at least as good. If he does, if it's provable, it's at least as good. Does she have to take it?
I think that if she wants to walk away with something rather than nothing and spend her whole days fighting the legal battles, she should take it.
But she's already in court. Does she have to accept
No, she doesn't. Get her camera or her money back.
for the camera?
Yeah.
Got your point going inside the courtroom.
I also got evidence from
Yeah,
Canon.
they lost your camera. But now let's talk about what you're suing for.
Okay.
First of all, you called the credit card company and got the $195 repair fee
That's
returned.
correct.
So you're clear
Yes.
on that. And then what you are suing for here today, you bought a new camera, which cost you $544.
Yes, correct.
So you're not only suing for the cost of a new camera, you are also suing for almost $1,700 in lost wages.
And I have the receipts for everything
How do you have receipts for lost wages?
because I had jobs that she paid me money to do.
Right?
$2,000 worth of, for a website.
I'm sorry. I need concrete evidence. You need to prove to me what you lost and what you're out. See, because here's the thing. I'm a practical woman. And if what I need to do to not lose $2,000 is spend $500, I spend the $500. And the law wants you to be a practical woman too. And it's called the litigant's responsibility to mitigate their damages. So you can't say, I don't have a camera and it would cost me $500 to have a camera, and then I'd stop $7,000 in bleeding, but I'm not. I'm just going to have the $7,000 in bleeding. You can't. You have to mitigate your damages. So how many months were you back and forth with these folks?
Well, April 15th, I dropped it off.
What time were you there, April 15th? Do you remember?
August 17th?
No,
April 15th, I don't remember the time. I mean, I don't know if it's on the receipt. No, I don't think he would.
I don't think.
Wait, you know what? It might be when he made the sale on the receipt. I don't know.
Maybe. Let's see.
I don't know if there's a time on the receipt.
I doubt it. If it's handwritten, I doubt. Oh,
No,
there's
there's a credit card receipt as well.
Let's see. There is a time. Can I see the UPS
Yes.
slip?
It's the top listing.
What time does UPS pick up?
Depends on the store. It's variable. At Staples, it's 5 o'clock.
Did you take this to Staples?
Yes.
And the UPS counter closes at what time?
Last pickup is 5. They'll take
Last
packages
pickup
all
is
night.
5. Fascinating. Last pickup is 5, and the time that you gave the camera was 4:47.
Yeah, but we could still go there up till closing at Staples, and they'll take the package.
Yes, your firm strikes me as the kind of place that runs over to make sure that they, in the next minute
Staples
it
is
gets shipped, even though,
across the
2
street
weeks
from us,
later we
Sharon.
have no idea where it is. If it got shipped that day, why isn't it received that day? There's notes, or he tells you that it didn't get received until May something.
The date's generated by the day we make the tag.
Where's her camera? It's such a simple thing that we want. She wants her camera. She wants her camera back, and she knows it's not going to happen because you guys lost it.
Your Honor, you know what's funny? Albert called me on September 18th at 10:40, and he says, "Good news, I have your camera. It's ready for pickup."
Yeah, what about that? That wasn't your camera. All right,
Exactly.
Okay, it's not. They've lost your camera. Look at me. They've lost your broken camera. They've lost because your camera was broken. Okay.
Yes.
So let us discuss what you are suing for, and then we'll get to your counterclaim. You are suing for lost wages, which I do not find that you have proved, and you're suing for the cost of a new Canon camera. That would be a nice bonanza, right? So let's put that little thing on hold while we look at the counterclaim. $590.53. You want $395 for the camera that you loaned her. The camera that you loaned her is right here. Please return that camera to them. That takes care of that. And you want $195.53 for repairing her camera. Please to explain.
Because the camera was replaced, there's an excess black
Yeah, but we
waiting
just
in
gave
the
you the
store.
camera back. So now you don't think that anymore, right? That's the camera that you gave her. That you
the
loaned her
loan-
while
the
you'd
loan-
find her real one, which
The
never
loaner
happened.
is back. The repair is, in my eyes, still contestable because I don't believe that she, was the right for her to get the same camera replaced in the same body
That's not the
part
question.
of the repair.
The question I'm asking you is it right for you to get not just the camera back that you loaned her, but also $195 for repairing a camera you lost?
It wasn't repaired yet, so it didn't come back repaired. I can't.
So it doesn't sound like it would be right?
No, now that we got this back.
I'll say. Okay. So on your counterclaim 0, and on her claim against you, you can buy a working one on the internet for $150. So what would a broken one be?
I don't know.
Not much. Not a figure you're going to be happy with. But you understand me, right? You
Yes,
understand.
I could understand with that,
Yeah.
but I still lost a lot of work because
You
of,
lost a lot of time, that's for sure.
yes. And I just don't work as a photographer. I work as an illustrator.
No, I
graphic
know
artist.
that.
So this is just a small part of my job.
Yeah, I understand that. I find in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $100. That's my judgment. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
Well, do you feel like you won or you lost?
No, I still don't feel like I won. I lost about over $2,000 worth of
Time.
work. I have all the receipts from jobs that I lost and income that I used to pay, my bills with. So
All right. what are you going to do? Are you going to buy the same model or on the internet? Like the judge said, it's available.
No,
it's not the same
I
one.
already have one that
Yeah.
I replaced for work.
It wasn't enough for you just to win the case in court? How about that?
No, it was not. I needed to, I have medical bills that I have to pay, so.
All right. Okay, head right down there. All right. All right, you come on out here, and how do you think you looked in there?
I think that they tried to make it seem as if I was representing someone who had ill intent, but we made all efforts to repair the camera. When that failed, we did everything we could
Yeah.
to give her a camera to work with so she wouldn't be out of work and she'd be functioning.
Let's do this the Yoda way. Repeat after me, the camera.
The camera,
We
we
lost.
lost.
Harvey?
Okay, you know, the judge actually talked about this concept of mitigating damages, which means minimizing your damages. For example, in this case, if you could rent another camera to continue doing the work you need to do, then you got to rent another camera. Then you can get the money for the rental, but you can't just sit there and get lost profits. That'll do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.